Hello everybody, welcome to Zelda Speedruns 2 and welcome to a monthly race for the A Link to the Past community. We'll have all dungeons restricted major glitches today for you. And without further ado, let's actually switch to the layout and let's hand it off to our sole lonely rider on commentary tonight. Tyrellkin, take it away, it's all yours.
Awesome, thank you, Trez. Hello guys, I'm Relkin. I'm doing commentary for the monthly, and we've got Mr. Buyer, Radiant Silvergun or JD Silvergun, and Leaf for the runners. And these are all three of the runners in the race, so what you're seeing is the entire race. Supposedly Leaf will be doing a different route from the other two runners, so you might be confused. Don't worry, I will guide you as best I can throughout this experience. For the most part, I think that Mr. Buyer and JD, I'll be referring to Radiant Silvergun as JD. I think they do a route that gets a bottle early from Kakariko as soon as they get the sword, which allows them to do a trick called Basement Clip in Pod. That trick allows us to open the big key door a lot earlier than we could normally, getting around the hammer requirement for it. And so what that allows us to do is save about a minute or more of time from what we used to do in this category from like 2019 and earlier than that. Basement Clip was discovered around then and is a huge time save in this run, but it is also a very hard and long, complicated trick. I'm not sure what. Let's see. Looking at Leaf's splits, it looks like he does the old route, which just goes to escape first and Eastern like normal, and then goes to Pod, and then goes to Hera to get Moon Pearl, and then does some Dark World. So for the most part, Leaf will be doing a very simple glitch route, while JD and Buyer will be doing a very hard and complex route. I hope JD resets his files because he's going to have a 2-character file name otherwise. Okay, 2-character file name it is. Alright, so JD is going to lose like a frame or so every so often. Alright, so what you're going to see these guys, the top 2 runners do is pick up the lamp here immediately, while Leaf will not pick it up until later. The first few screens is going to be like normal. We get the sword here. But then once JD and Buyer head out into the first room of the castle, they're going to be doing a save and quit after hopping off a ledge, which will arm what is called EG. That allows us to mess with the layering in this game of Link. So EG is a banned glitch in the underworld, but in the overworld, we are allowed to do it in this category. And we're going to use that to our advantage to get out of the castle area with a sword in hand. I'm not going to be talking much about Leaf's path through escape because it's pretty standard. But I'm going to talk mostly about Buyer and JD's route here. So they save and quit, each of them. And so they have EG armed. And then what they're going to do here in the courtyard is bait the guard to knock them into the doorway of the castle at a specific pixel, which will arm what is called long state, or activate long state. This is somewhat of a hard trick, and it can lose a lot of time if you screw it up. Oh, just like I said. Okay, looks like JD can go for it again. He didn't get hit. He's going to select buffer it to make sure his sword is a specific pixel. That's a little too low. No, that's right. That's right. All right, awesome. All right, JD is walking a little funny. Oh no, Buyer had issues in the courtyard again, so he's gonna have to re-RMG. All right, so JD is gonna walk into that electricity, and it's gonna make Link invisible. He's not actually invisible. He's actually on a different layer because of EG. EG does this stuff whenever you take damage. I don't know the specifics of it, but it causes Link to be on a different layer than the game anticipates in some way. And that allows us to clip through things and get out of this courtyard. Alright, come on, Buyer. You got this. Nice, alright. He uses a different pixel. There is one pixel that is guaranteed to work every time, where your sword has one pixel of space between the blue path in front of the door and the doorway. That is the pixel I like to use. Alright, so now we did a citrus clip over to the Kakariko area to go pick up a bottle. I think do we pick up 2 bottles? I'm not super familiar with this route, but I know we pick up at least 1. I think we just pick up 1. We pick up the bug net as well on JD's side. Buyer gets the citrus to get a fake flipper. Head to Kak. Now we're going to do another citrus clip to get ourselves over to the eastern overworld screen. And this is a bit of a dangerous overworld wrap here. So if you move right at all on this screen, you will infinitely scroll the screen and you will be hard locked. You have to reset. So that is a bit of a dangerous wrap. So you might see what you saw there, JD pause a little bit, hesitate to make sure that they didn't walk too far to the left, otherwise they would have been in a bad spot. Buyer having a slight bit of issue here with this citrus clip. That looks good. Okay, awesome. Okay, he's gonna have to do the same thing and make sure he doesn't walk too far left. He is fine. Awesome. Alright, so both the top runners in Eastern. Leaf still an escape. He is getting the key rat now. Eastern's going to be pretty normal. Not much to talk about. You get the bow. And we kill the boss. We do this because Eastern gives us the boots, and boots makes doing glitches a lot easier, a lot faster. And obviously, we know boots are fast. We kind of want to go fast. Alright, Leaf is done with escape. I imagine he'll pick up Sankheart. A difference in this category from normal like RMG is that we can save and quit. So you will see Leaf most likely grab this Sankheart and then save and quit to Link's house. Okay, he doesn't pick up Sankheart. Right, he's going to save and quit immediately. And now Leaf is going to head to Eastern. I'm interested to see if he tries to do the citrus clip here. It is faster by a few seconds to do this citrus clip. He's not going to, though. He must not be comfortable enough with it. Or maybe doesn't know about it. If you go to the bottom right of the screen, you can citrus clip on the ledge there near the pathway, downward pathway, and then you can wrap around to the eastern entrance. RMG, So we got a question in chat about what RMG means. RMG stands for Restricted Major Glitches. Basically, it allows us to do all sorts of overworld clips and a select few number of underworld glitches that are not allowed in minor glitch categories or no major glitches. Minor glitch in rando, no major glitch in RMG, like vanilla speedruns. We just have more tricks available to us in our arsenal that we don't otherwise have. In RMG, we can go from certain underworld spots to dungeons, or from one dungeon to another by the use of bomb clips or dash buffer clips. So you will be seeing some of that throughout this run too. So JD is using his lamp to help set his index. That is used for a few different things in this speedrun. Basement Club was found in February 2020? Okay, yeah. I knew it was 2020, 2019, somewhere around there. Alright, so Buyer has the boots now. Excuse me, JD has the boots now. Gets a little bit of cash, because he's going to need some cash for a potion or two. I think he only needed one, because he needs a green potion. Leaf is down to half a heart. Okay, he's going to go ahead and pick up a safety heart. Looks like he arms JD arms a spin speed to try and get a teleport to get over to the witch hut. And it has a scroll screen to the right to be able to transition properly. Looks like Buyer will do the same thing. He's just going to do the boost clip method of it. Okay, so now JD and Buyer will be heading to the mountain. We use an upward, we do a spin speed that allows us to clip into the side of that cliff there. And then we do a series of inputs that scrolls us up to the screen above. And then we wrap around the bottom of the screen that puts us in the old man cave. So you get to see it again here on Buyer's side. There you go. And Leaf is finished with Eastern now. He'll be picking up his boots here shortly. Alright, and then JD is going to do a spin speed here to set up what is known as Kiki Yeet. Gets it. Now he has to navigate around this wrapped Death Mountain screen to get to a specific cave that allows us to do another glitch, a bomb clip. We set up a bomb on a specific pixel. There's a couple that work. And doing this clips us to Pod in cave state. Okay, it looks like Buyer is doing another thing, which I'd forgot that he does. He's going to pick up silver arrows, and he's going to do escape with getting silvers. Okay, so he's going to go to Pod, and then once he's done with Pod, he'll die. And then that will leave the portal there in front of the castle for him to get silvers. So in Cave State Pod, we don't have a valid key number. So once we open a door, it's not 0. And so we can just open key doors and that underflows. I don't know if that's the right word, but we now have 256 keys. Small keys. So now we can just have free reign of this dungeon. Okay, so you're also going to see them pick up the big key, which is interesting for a number of reasons. There is a good reason though. This is all leading up to basement clip. So they pick up that big key because they can go ahead and get the hammer, and then also basement clip to open the boss door. Otherwise, they won't be able to beat Pod because they pick up this big key, and now the big key is in their pocket, but not. The big key is in their pocket, but it's not the Pod big key. It is a Cave State big key. And Cave State big keys are different than your dungeon big keys. This essentially is getting rid of the big key in Pod. This is an interesting route that Leaf is taking. Oh, is he getting fairies? Okay. Looks like he also doesn't do the Kiki Yeet. Okay, so I don't know how to explain this trick super well, but this is going to be basement clip here in a second. Alright, so you do a potion glitch in the staircase, and that actually arms spin speed. And arming spin speed is how we are able to pull off basement clip. I'm going to pick up some money so they have some money for potions later. Or not potions, but they need money for Zora, I think. And they're going to do a long string of inputs to get a teleport here down the bottom right. This will put them on the rail above. And then they're going to do a bunch of different inputs, one at a time, clip themselves further into the rail. Oh no. JD screwed it up. So he's going to have to come back and do this again later. Buyer is making his way through the clip. Nicely done. And so now what he's going to do is die on these spikes, because he set up his portal in the castle. And dying in rain state actually puts you back in the sanctuary after you've gotten the sword. Now we do what's called river dance. He does a different version of river dance, where it gets him near his portal. North Moat. Oh, it's not. Oh, I thought it was called river dance. I could have swore this was called river dance. Oh, I thought there was just river fought. I thought the eastern one was river fought. I've been lied to this whole time. Alright, but there you go. Well, it can't be both checks then. Whoever decided that. Whoever decided that it should have 2 names. No, it doesn't. It says River Fought. Maybe in your prac-hack that might be outdated. Yeah, East River Fought. I just loaded it up. I don't know what version. How do I check the version on it? Oh, okay, well I can just see it here. 14.3.2. Oh no. Did JD fail the staircase stairmaster? Point 3.4. Gotcha. Okay, now let me ask you this. Is River Dance the one that lets you get to Kakariko in Rain State? Or is it the eastern one? Okay, so I think JD may have forfeit. No, okay, what is he doing? He hasn't forfeit yet. Okay, got it, checks. But he is sitting on his title screen. I'm not sure what's up. Alright, so Leaf made it through Pod. Looks like he had some issues, given that he is a minute behind PB, but he made it out. Pod is a difficult one because you were there so early on such little health. Alright, so Bayer got his Moon Pearl, and he's also going to do a dash buffer clip to Hera with a small key that he actually stole from Escape by doing a bomb clip to Escape to Dark Cross area. Okay, JD is officially forfeit. And then once Bayer clips to Hera, I'm sorry, excuse me, Swamp. He does a fake flipper by shooting a bunch of arrows and bombs. It's actually a splash delete. Shooting a bunch of arrows and bombs, and that Makes it so that the splash doesn't appear, and so you can swim when you don't have flippers. And when you do that, you can go up the staircase and then do a diagonal up left input at a specific frame. There's a few specific frames that work. That clips you into the wall, and then you do what's called a fake clippers to get through the wall to the other side and get back up on land to go get the hook shot. Okay. I think Leaf died there on purpose. He had low health. He had low health in the basement and got the big key, so I guess he wanted to get some health back. Oh no, Leaf didn't get the bomb jump. That sucks. Yeah, that one is that bomb jump is tough. Leaf, it's a bit to your right. Oh no. Yeah, he was shooting it too far left. You also just want to mirror. If you fall there, you want to mirror out immediately. Nice arrow drop. Also, you need to hit the switch. Oh yeah, so back to over Mr. Byer's side. He actually also goes to GT, so he can go ahead and take care of getting the big key, and then also get red mail, which makes the rest of the game a bit friendlier. Red mail reduces your damage for the most part by a quarter, down to 1/4 of what you normally be taking. In most cases, there are a lot of exceptions. Like certain things just always do 1 heart, certain things always do 2 hearts, certain things always do half a heart. But a lot of things now will do 2 hearts or less. That is very good. There's not a lot of enemies that do 2 hearts on red mail. Those are in later dungeons, so we are thankful for that. A lot of enemies will just do a half a heart or 1 heart now, which is a lot more stomachable than being on Oko, or it seems like Oko for a lot of this speedrun. So now that Byer is done with GT, he's going to head towards Thieves Town with this DMD. You do a spin speed down there, you clip off the bottom of the mountain, and then you do a dash turn up and bonk, and then hold down after that, and you do this funny auto walk thing, as we call it. FOT stands for funny auto walk thing. It just makes Link walk a whole lot further than a normal transition would have him walk, and it's funny looking. It's a funny auto walk thing. Now we're into Thieves Town. We have silver arrows, which aren't going to really affect Thieves Town much, but we do have red mail, which definitely simplifies the Thieves Town process. For instance, those horsehead guys or Zazaks usually do 2 hearts, but on red mail they do half a heart. A lot less scary. And blind, normally his body does 2 hearts. Now his body will do half a heart, or his heads. The fireballs still do 1 heart, sadly. Spikes still do 1 heart. These Patrick Stars will do might actually do 1/4 of a heart. The Fire Snakes also still do 1 heart. These Crickets normally would do 2 hearts, but now they do 1/4 of a heart. Speaking of lots of health, since Leaf doesn't have red mail, he is a bit scary road ahead of him here with this Thieves Town. Gonna pick up the safety heart. There isn't a whole lot to talk about here in Thieves Town. We don't have a glove coming in, so we have to take a longer route around this block that we can normally lift up in RMG. But then it's kind of funny, though, because we end up picking the Titan's Myths straight away. So now we could if we wanted to, but there's no point. Buyer really making sure he has a lot of arrows for the places that he needs them. Oh my goodness, Leaf nearly died there. If he took a fall, that would have been it. That would have been a death. He is not taking any chances here in Blind Cell. Alright. Gets rid of all the enemies. Gets his mitts. Alright, Buyer's now picking up the blacksmiths. And also, while he's right here on this screen, he can mirror to Light World and get the book. We do need the book. It is the fastest way to beat Misery Mire by getting the Ether Medallion. So we need to go ahead and pick that book up. Alright, Leaf finishes Thieves Town. Did not die, which is good. If you die in a Dark World dungeon, the game will put you in what's called fake Dark World state. And that's not ideal. In most cases, it should still allow you to get the dungeon prize from all your dungeons. I think. Actually, it might be different in vanilla than it is in rando. I know you can still do Thieves Town and get your crystal from Thieves Town normally, but after you finish the Thieves Town, or immediately after you die in other dungeons, you need to mirror. You need to leave the dungeon in a mirror and then go back in, and then everything will be like normal. It's because we have not killed Aga 1 that the game just does this. So Bayer also picking up his final bits of money there in Sea House, and he gets that RMG there with the Skull Bush. Always fun. Ooh, gets rough RNG there from that Moblin. Leaf, you are not staying. Okay, that's okay. That's an okay spot. It's not the best spot. You actually want to do what Bayer did, or do a different strat called Frog Door on this screen. I won't explain Frog Door. It is a bit tricky. It is possible to soft lock. Excuse me, hard lock. It's actually okay. I should say it's not super tricky. The setup is easy, but it is possible to hard lock if you're too fast on a specific A input. So the rest of the Skullwood split is pretty normal. Feel free to ask any questions about this if you want. I can try my best to answer them. There isn't a whole lot to talk about here in Skullwoods because we're just going to the back of the dungeon like normal. Having a little bit of trouble there in that room on Bayer's side. You want to dash, you want to move to the left out of that doorway and dash straight up, and then stop yourself right above the horizontal position of the spike to knock the mummy into the spikes with a couple slashes to kill it. Yo, Doomtap, thank you for the raid. Doomtap, join me in the comm booth. Just kidding. I know you're busy. Welcome to the 80 RMG monthly, those coming from Doomtap stream. We did have 3 runners in this race. One of them did forfeit after messing up basement clip twice. Understandable. Yeah, that ferry for Leaf was nice. His trip to the back Skullwoods will be a bit comfier. He does have beams now, which is a bit annoying. Okay, so on that screen right there, you want to dash left immediately out of that Skullwoods entry. That is the best way to deal with those Ropas. Ooh, that was a little close. Dead Rock wanted to get up in Bayer's business. Yeah, see, this is the problem with having sword beams. This fight could be a lot faster. I'm not sure. Yeah, if you're gonna get a fairy, you make sure to take damage at least one place before you fight Moth. Otherwise, the fight becomes annoying. It's not super easy to get your tempered slashes in on Moth to do tempered damage. Alright, so over on Bayer's side, after he finished Hera, he did Hera Pot to make the dungeon super fast. We don't do it our first trip there because it's a little... It's just faster to come back later to kill Moldorm with a better weapon. Well, after that, we get Ether, and then we come down here to the bottom after wrapping from bottom to top. And then we do a super jump off the left side of the mountain to get down to the bottom of Dark World to go over to the Mire area. Alright, and then we stand on a specific spot. The camera does not go with us, so it's kind of hard to see where we are. So we kind of have to find some visual cues to help us get through the screen. And then we can open Mire and go in. And then Mire is going to be completely normal for Bayer. The route is completely the same as RMG. He does have silvers to make the Vitreous fight comfier. Yeah, that could have been rough there for Leaf. Had that Dead Rock stayed on that bridge. That was sketchy as heck. Dead Rocks are one of the worst enemies in this game, arguably the worst. They make the mountains so awful. Alright, so Leaf, after getting his Ether, after clipping up to the top of the mountain, goes to Zor area. By another clip over by the Turtle Rock portal to get here a little faster. This is where we get flippers in this specific route. You actually don't want to dash all the way to the left there, it's slower. I'm not sure, yeah, you don't want to do this. This is slower. This is not worth setting up a slash delete here. You have to menu too many times, and so it doesn't speed it up. Yeah, yeah, flippers. I don't know if he just forgot that he didn't have flippers. I know Leaf plays a lot of rando, but that's not what you're supposed to do there. Fire making his way through the rest of Mire, while Leaf is flipping over to the... If they do it just to meme or just because, I guess I really can't stop them, but it is slower. It's not really worth using resources for it. So yeah, this route has Leaf do Desert before Mire. This is just so he can have more health for more health for the Vitreous fight. We get to do desert faster though, thanks to having access to the left entrance. Easy Vitreous fight. Silvers do simplify the heck out of it. I'm curious to see if maybe Bayer could squeeze out a PB out of this run. He is not all that far behind his PB pace. 25 seconds is not a whole lot of time to be behind. Not PB splits? Okay. Okay. Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Chex. Never mind. He is not on PB pace then. Alright, Lee finishes up Desert and is now going to go back in his portal to go do Meyer. And they're going to trade places, actually, runners. And Bayer's going to do Desert. Okay, so a weird and also cool thing about the route that Bayer does, he does not have to go grab the Desert Big Key. Chex might be able to explain it in chat better, but it has to do with grabbing the Pod Big Key in Cave State. And it just allows us to open the Desert Big Key door. And Silvers make quick work of Landmill. Alright, so now, if you remember that clip that we did to get to Eastern earlier, this is a similar one where we cannot move right on this screen at all, or else we were hard lock. That was close. Thank you, Check. So getting the Cave State Big Key gives you Hyrule Castle, Sewers, Desert, and Hera. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, so it saves time in Hera as well, I guess. That's neat. Oh, no. Oh, goodness. Leaf is low on health. This will make Vitreous scary. Alright, so now this is the time where Bayer goes back and finishes up Palace of Darkness. It's going to be a very quick trip. He just clips to it from the same place we did way earlier in the game, in the run, and then he'll just exit and re-enter the dungeon, so we're back in pod state, and then pretty much run straight to the boss because the big key door is just open. Okay, now I want to go back and now that I know the thing about getting the hair big key from Chex, thank you again, Chex. You actually earlier Bayer went in Hera actually did not need to clip to sewers to get a small key because he did not need to go get the big key of Hera to be able to climb up. And so in that case, he only needed that one small key, which he could use to when he clipped from Hera to Swamp to open the door that he clipped from the room he clips to. So, just wanted to go back and say that he did not actually clip 2 sewers. He didn't need to, because of the way a basement clip route works. I missed it. What happened, Chex? What about Fairy Room? That looks good from Leaf's side. He needs to do 1 up left buffer, and looks like that's good. Awesome. Oh, yeah. Have you not done old route in a while, Chex? Yeah, so... Uh-oh. Leaf has a problem. He did not grab the extra small key from the Meyer Spike room. You need to grab 2 small keys in that room. That's a huge feels bad. I wasn't even paying attention to see that he didn't grab both keys. The slightly good news is he doesn't have to do a whole lot of the stuff again. He just has to go get a small key. Bulbasaur is a super easy boss in this Silver's Get route. Or Basement Cliff route in general. So one of the upsides to Basement... Another one of the upsides to Basement Cliff route is the easiness of the Helmasaur fight. Okay, so now Leaf has a small key. He can go back and do his clips that he needs to go do again. Oh no. Now he's on half a heart. Oh. Is he throwing in a towel? Alright. Leaf is also forfeited. Sorry. We can see if we can get either of JD or Leaf into the interview booth. Right, so, on Bayer's side, we had ourselves a nice wrap to TR by going to Hera first. And we went to the portal and then clipped a little bit up that side of the cliff there. Did some movements to get us at a specific spot to do a mirror wrap. Allows us to hop straight to Laser Bridge. We still have to go get the big key, so this is a bit of a detour we have to go do before we can fight Tarnix. And we are joined in the interview booth by Leaf. Sorry about your run, but GG's.
I mean, that run was running into... There's a reason we can call this category all disasters.
Yeah, it is a very difficult run.
Oh, absolutely. But I just love this run. I loved run. It's just I was at the point of too many disasters.
Yeah, it happens. Don't worry. And it's a race scenario too, so there might be a bit of extra nerves trying to put pressure on yourself to do better. So. Oh
no! After Tower of Hera jump failure, I was like, okay, let's just play the game.
Yeah, sure.
But I forgot, for the record, on the key in Meyer, I'm gonna just blame. Honestly, I'm gonna blame NMG practice having me skip a key until I go get Kane.
Yeah, that's a very easy thing to get mixed up in your head if you do multiple categories.
Well, you might also have noticed me go to the left without a key first, too.
Oh, I actually missed that part.
So, but, Rando Brain, NMG Brain, and RMG Brain all kicking in one go.
Yeah. Oh no. Bayer is out of magic. He'll have to mirror back to Laser Bridge.
At least it's not like running out of magic in NMG Trainix.
Yeah. That's way worse. 100%.
What happened to Silver Guns since they got
JD? He messed up. He got basement clip set up the first time, but then messed up one of the inputs and got clipped out of the rail.
Oh no!
Yeah, and so he went back and then tried it again, but then missed the Stairmaster, and so just called it there.
Understandable. Good GG to them.
Yeah. Basement clip is super complex and difficult. Like, I'm sure with practice you could figure out, how to give some sort of consistency with it. But hats off to anyone that's able to pull it off and runs, because it is what makes this category as hard as it is for optimization purposes.
Yeah, I don't plan on ever learn. I run RMG not for the optimization. I just like the 2014 route. I think it's fun.
Yeah. I used to run that route myself, and it took me a bit to get around to trying the long state and early hook shot as well. Oh, ZSR with a huge raid.
Big raid from ZSR, yay! I think that was a Wind Waker or a Wind Waker race that went on. I'm mixing up which randos have which tournament stages going on.
I don't follow the Wind Waker tournaments hardly at all, so your guess is as good as mine.
The main reason I know is I am a ZSR vol, so.
Oh, okay. You kind of have some say.
I have a few things to keep track of. Things.
You have a stake in it, so you're like, I kind of care.
No, mostly I just keep track of things, watching for opportunities that fit with my absolutely chaotic schedule.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all disasters. Do we need to say more about this category?
Yeah, that's just, some days you just have those runs, and that is not, that's what you do when you speedrun. You have the good ones, you have the bad ones.
At least I remembered the book today.
Good job. Yeah, that's another easy thing to forget in this category. Oh, did we get Louis Hop? Let's go, Louis Hop. Okay. Sorry, I had to stop there.
Oh, absolutely. No, absolutely. My PB actually has a forgotten book. It's why I had a gold split today for Desert. Because I actually hadn't run this much until I moved PC, so I actually was running on fairly new set splits. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this is the first run I've actually remembered the book in the last year.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Take the small victories, right?
Yeah. There you go. If you want to, all I can say really is practice. If you want to get a decent time, and then work on those
Isn't that just the speedrunning way?
Yeah.
Practice, practice, practice.
It's nothing new.
I mean, a lot of my time is taken up by rando, but I'm a rando main first and foremost.
That's where I got my start.
And now you're a top tier RMG runner too, and a top tier rando player from my memory.
All right, so so back to the Bayer's run here. He actually did. So I freaked out a little bit there with Louis Hop. That is it's not consistent whatsoever. But if you hop off, it's kind of luck based, honestly. You can hop off again immediately, and that will just put you right in the spot where you need to wrap to the Zora area. All right, now we are also joined in the interview booth by JD. GG's again, man.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry. Like, I don't know. Just nerves just got the better of me.
Happens.
Yeah, it's basement clip is ridiculously hard, and so anyone who tries it is braver than I.
Yeah, I did it earlier, like practice. Like I did the clip like in one try. Like I'm not a huge fan of like drilling a lot of practice before a race because like I just don't want to like wear my hands out, especially with like select buffering and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean it just happens. Like I don't know. I was more upset that I failed the potion part the second time. That to me is more upsetting because I like rarely miss like those like YBA inputs these days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you went back, I think, immediately for a potion to try again, and I think you just messed up the... Is it Stairmaster, or is it you just potion glitch? Is it not Stairmaster because you don't flip to a different room?
Yeah, I mean, it's the... Like, you do, like, the YBA inputs, but because you're in the stairs, like, there is no transition corruption, so it's like the first step of doing a Stairmaster, but you have to arm super speed beforehand.
Mm-hmm. And that's your only way to do it, and that's your only way to be able to clip up into the rail in the first place.
Yeah, there is another way, but, like, you have to come back later with Samaria. Like, I'm not, like, practiced at that method, but, you can do what's called a... I forgot, lamp-controlled Samaria bounce, I think, is the term for that.
Oh, yeah, Samaria bounce. Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know, for the sake of my splits, I've never liked... putting the basement clip into a different spot. Like, I'll either, like, second try it for, like, the sake of a race, or just not, carry on.
Sure.
It's because some people do it when they go back to pod. They'll do, like, a cave state, and then open it, and then save and quit, and then go back, and then go to pod state. But I've never been a fan of that route, personally, but it makes sense why people do it, though.
Yeah, and... You might know the numbers better than I do. How much time does basement clip save over the early hook route? Like a minute and a half more?
That I did a lot of timing on this, and that's a pretty loaded question, but I'll do my best to answer that for you.
Sure.
Well, first of all, the thing is, it depends how fast you can do it. Like the world record ADRMG, he does it the whole entire room in 45 seconds, which is unreasonably fast, in my opinion. Krithel's PB does it in 54 seconds, which is still very, very fast. Like, I think my best time ever was like a 75.
Okay, minute 15.
But, and also for my specific route, the reason why I started doing basement clip is because I was getting the Buganet to, just not die. But having the bottle anyway allowed me to like do this route and take advantage of like further time saves. So I guess to get back to your question is if you're doing like the full basement clip route like Yuzuhara does and you're hovering to get the hammer and all that, it probably saves at least 2 minutes. But you have to be very fast at doing the clip. And there's just a lot of other things going on. Skipping the brewery rupees is a good time save. You skip Hera Basement, you skip, the front of Desert.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's where the time save comes from.
Yeah,
and clipping to get the key in the sewers.
Yeah, that one too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I didn't really realize that basement clip saves you from doing. So, I do understand the huge time save, that it offers to this speedrun, but I also understand the difficulty of the trick itself is it off-puts a lot of people from doing it in speedruns.
Yeah, it is quite difficult. When I was grinding the category, when I got the PB that I have, which is still not a super great PB, but it's good for me. Like, I was faster at it than I am now, but I think most people, it'll take like 1 to 2 minutes, but 2 minutes is not ideal. And then like the time save from that is also going to be like 1 to 2 minutes over the Louis route, but like, you and Harry and like Louis himself have shown that, the other route is still completely viable if your fundamentals are like super top notch. So it's just kind of an interesting like choice what people want to do with the route or with the category.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have joined this race if we got some other commentary, but we did not this time, so I offered myself up just so that we could still have a restream.
Yeah, and props to Bayer for doing a good job here.
Yeah, he's his route is safety oriented, so he sets up his he actually, whenever he clips to the mountain to get the old man saved, he sets his portal up after wrapping up to the top, because he goes to a spot and then he does the thing that lets you get to Pyramid Ferry, and like Rando, you set your portal up, and then once he just finishes up with Pod and Basement Clip, he dies after entering the Helma room that puts him back in Sanctuary, and then he does the normal clip to get to the castle, and then he can get his silvers before doing Escape, and then has them for the entirety of the run. He also does GT early. As soon as he gets Hookshot, I believe he goes to GT to get Red Mail after going straight for the big key.
Yeah, I think his actual PB doesn't have red mail, but Bayer has experimented with a lot of different routes in AD, that is for sure.
Mm-hmm. Supposedly, silvers could almost be time neutral or be faster with the way he does it. I think if you can super optimize how you do it, you just do it perfectly, then I could see it challenging the normal route.
I don't think anyone's done any hard math on that. I'd be a little skeptical of it actually saving time, but like
Sure.
maybe I could see maybe breaking even, but I don't know. I mean, the world record doesn't get silvers. Granted, he might not have thought about it, but I feel like you have to push it pretty hard. Like you need to use like silvers like on both land modes. You need to use silvers on Vidi. Like you just need to push it as hard as you can to get the most out of that time save.
Okay. Chex is here to debunk us all and say that silvers just lose this time. Thanks, Chex.
I'm not surprised by hearing that, but I mean, it isn't, like, it's a valid safety. If you're not, like, going for the world record or, like, a top 3 or whatever, I mean, it's reasonable to take safeties, I think.
Sure. This run already has many places where it is scary as heck. For instance, the Hera to get early hookshot into Thieves Town, you're typically on very low health unless you pick up some extra parts. It's not super fun.
The basement clip even more so because you're missing that pod heart container until you go back for it. But yeah, even just the Louis route is, if you get used to doing AD like with the Lonk route, then your NMG Dark World starts looking pretty comfy for at least for like Mire and like Skull and Thieves.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna real quickly recap what we all saw on Bayer's side. He did swamp mostly normal. He already had hookshot coming in, so he could actually go straight to the back. And one of the levers was already drained, so he didn't have to drain that. So it's a lot faster of a dungeon when you go visit it to finish it up. And once he finished Swamp, he went to a specific spot on Dark Worlds, 2 screens east. He did some clips to get up to it. He does a mirror route, which lets him go to Ice faster than you would just from mirroring and swimming over to the portal itself. It saves around, I want to say, 6 seconds if you do it fast enough. And so he does ice in a different way as well, where you clip to one of the floors below in the first room. That saves a lot of time by doing that. You can save some backtracking. It's not a massive time save, but it's definitely great to do it. And then after the ice, their last dungeons are GT and Aga. A lot of people don't like the fact that we do Aga 1 last. That is for very good reason. Aga 1 is the RMG factor, the biggest RNG factor of the speedrun. And so that's another reason why this category puts off a lot of runners that want to try and better their time.
Yeah. They say, like, what, 3 to 4 blue balls is average, but, you know, sometimes Aga just knows when you're on a good pace and
Yep.
doesn't cooperate.
Nope. Yeah, I did a run last night where I was possibly on PB pace. Like I was going to save a bunch of time in ice because in my PB I screwed it up. I screwed up the wrap, and then I screwed up again in the last night's run. But I saved still some time, so I was ahead. But then Aga 1 gave me 7 blue balls, and so that was sad.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of how it goes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
A lot of
Nothing we
categories
can do
have to
about
deal with Aga.
I hate it, but nothing you can really do about it. Just play vanilla preset. There you go.
Yeah, I'm surprised there aren't more AD runs on the preset, since they did actually do a lot of the fixes that we asked for. Like, we were able to mirror from Zelda Cell into the Sanctuary now. That did not used to be a thing originally on the Rando ROM.
Oh, okay.
That was a big one. And the cave state keys also function as they would in vanilla, like, meaning that you can get, like, the desert and the Hera key as well.
Okay. Is that for the vanilla preset ROM exclusively? Or is that like as a whole, like the Rando now has that feature for, like, you know, things that you do glitch things with?
Just the vanilla preset as far as I know.
Okay.
To be fair, it might work if you're playing like non-key sanity, because the way Rando assigns like the IDs to the keys is different in key sanity seed than versus a seed where the dungeon items are in their own dungeons. So if you have keys in their vanilla dungeons, it might actually work, but nobody really plays that way, I don't think, for glitched modes usually. Or like in HMG, you wouldn't want to eat a big key in cave state, so like it doesn't really come up, I don't think.
Oh yeah, do people play HMG with key sanity?
Not very often. It's
Okay.
usually more of a mystery thing.
I see.
I think it would be fun if but some people say it defies the point because of like the whole unlocking swamp and unlocking Hera thing, but I don't know, I think it could be interesting once in a while, but I don't know, maybe more people play HMG now that the no logic might be dying down a little bit, I'm not sure.
Yeah, the tournament ended today. That's a little sad. I'm a little sentimental. I really loved watching a bunch of no logic races. I even did some seeds myself, and I've been having fun. It's kind of like learning the game all over again in a sense.
Yeah, no logic is a really interesting rando mode. It's gotten super cutthroat in the competitive like setting though, but like casually it's always been super fun. You just kind of figure out like solutions to, you know, how you think you can get
Puzzles.
things done.
And so Bayer's almost done with Aga Tower. Now he's getting to the back-to-back RNG segments of the speedrun, Ganon and Aga 1.
Oh, I had a question, by the way, because I missed it, but, so for the basement clip, when you're in the rail, there's like 3 motions you have to do. There's like a down left, and then a straight right, and then a down right. So what I messed up was, for the down right, what you're supposed to do is you hold A, so Link does the grabbing animation, then you push down right, then you slide your thumb from A to Y, so the hammer stops you, is what you're supposed to do, but I just, like, missed the press. So does a buyer do the Y to A? Do you remember if he was, like, hammering, like, down right like that?
I think he hammers, yeah.
Okay. That is the kind of the way you're quote-unquote supposed to do it, because select buffering is slower, and I actually think select buffering is usually harder to do, but that's, like, a matter of preference, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good job again to Mr. Byer for getting that. Like, we did a race yesterday, and we both had some issues, so I'm glad it at least went better for him today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was a very monthly, you know, hard category. It's easy to mess something up and ruin your whole run, and yes, and whenever you mess something up big, it's like the motivation to continue is very low, so it's very understandable. In fact, I hard locked, I think it might have been last month, because I did frog door, but then I pressed it on that frame, you know, the early frame that, you know, that warps you up, and I didn't know to hold select, so that was just it.
Yeah, I've been there. It's yeah, you have to react in time as well, so it's not like a guaranteed solution. The frog door is a really swaggy strat, and it does save a few frames over the double quick warp, but I honestly don't go for it anymore, but, I mean, respect. It is technically optimal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just seemed easy enough, and if I'm, you know, if I miss the A press, then I just lift the rock and then talk again. It's a dog eat pog world out there. And looking at Buyer splits, he must have had a lot of warps in his Ganon fight for this whatever run he's running against. Because you can do Ganon in like 1x with silvers.
Oh yeah, my hundo gold for Ganon is quite fast, and I don't consider myself exceptionally good at the arrows part of Ganon. Like, a 120 is, like, pretty reasonable if you have good RNG.
Looks like he's only had 1 warp so far. And awesome, alright. Nice silverless spin there. Oh, can he get 2? Oh, he's facing the wrong way. Oh, this should be a good setup for a triple.
Oh, I'm looking
so
at the
close.
actual restream. I was behind you. Okay, well... sometimes it's hard, but GG though. So Mr. Byer.
Yep. GG's to Buyer, the lone finisher of this race. Once again, GG's to JD and Leaf, both for trying their hardest to get through the speed run. Like I said, this is a hard category and not for the faint of heart. So finishing a run is an accomplishment in itself for many people in some ways.
Yeah, 1:16:59 is still better than my PB. Not by much, but GG though.
All right, GG's to Buyer. See if we can get him in here. All right, looks like he will be joining us shortly. I'll pull him in as soon as he gets here.
Alrighty then. Waiting for Mr. Bayer, I guess, right?
Yeah, he said he'd be there in a second.
Alright. There we go.
There he is. All right, and welcome to the interview booth, Mr. Bayer. GG's.
GG's.
GG, good job.
Yeah, you pulled off basement clip, and so your run could continue.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the moral of this race.
I was having a really bad time in practice last couple days. So I knew in advance I didn't want to commit to the hammer buffers in basement clip, so I just went for select buffers.
Yeah. Do you do the hammers for basement clip?
I'm trying to start doing it. I think it's good enough to go for in a run. But in a race, I think still want to. Well, given how I was doing yesterday, I didn't want to go for it.
Gotcha. I know JD was curious about what your method of basement clip was.
I actually think the hammer buffers is easier, but I also messed it up. But my select buffering has not been great because I keep switching which kind of controller I'm using. Like a few months ago, I got a really nicely like repaired like SFC controller, but I don't know. Select buffering, I just try to eliminate it wherever possible. That's just my personal thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. The thing is, like, if I'm like nervous or already like frustrated, I kind of slow down when I do it, and if I start slowing down when I do that buffer, it's over. I'm pretty much never gonna get it enough times for it to work.
Yeah, if you're used to a certain speed of doing things, changing the speed at which you do it will most certainly add added pressure to doing a trick. Yeah, and then for the most part, it looks like your run was pretty smooth with Bayer. You weren't running against your PB based on what Chex was saying. You got like a 114 when your actual PB.
Yeah, it's a little faster. This is still pretty close, though.
Okay. And do you get silvers in your PB?
Yes, I just don't get red.
Okay. Yeah, you're kind of you're sort of a lone wolf there in the fact that you go get the red mail and silvers both in your speed runs. But yeah, it's really neat to see though. It adds some nice safety for those would be harder dungeons with low health and all that.
Yeah. Surprised how like much I was like saving time everywhere. I don't remember what happened last time, but
Yeah, were your golds real? I saw you had a bunch of golds coming in.
sort of. I don't know. I switch splits constantly, so I'm constantly getting golds. Like if you look at my splits, it's like I have 9 runs total on these, and I've definitely done more than 9 80 RMG runs.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think we can go ahead and talk like last final thoughts here before we hand it back to Trez. Either one of you on this 80 RNG monthly.
No, yeah, I missed the basketball, so I really want to make this one.
Okay, awesome.
I might start doing 80 RMG a little more. often again. This is kind of a downtime since no Logic tournament ended.
Yeah, that tournament's over. I'm sad. I was telling JD how I was a bit sentimental that it's already over because I was learning some stuff and I wanted to play some seeds myself. How about you, JD? You got anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I really like participating, but it's a brutally hard category. I don't know, maybe I just need to practice more. I've been trying to learn other categories. I've made a lot of good progress and like glitched 100%, but I don't know. I feel like maybe if more people were doing the races, it would be, I don't know, more motivation to practice. I don't know. I'll just hope for a better monthly next time, I guess, is, just try to, look on the bright side here. But I'm glad that we do these, though. I'm really glad that we do these, and hopefully we keep doing them.
Yeah, I will make sure that these things keep happening. I'll be on top of it as best I can. All right, that's all I've got. Trez, if you want to help us get out of here.
All right, I'll help us get out of here for sure. Thank you all so much for watching. Big shout out to our 3 racers, and I can just echo what Mr. Bayer said. No, what JD said, I believe. Just join the races. It's fun. It's fun to watch from a perspective of somebody who doesn't watch RMG as often. I'd be happy to see more of this. Thank you so much, Rolkin, for doing the commentary, stepping up to do it by yourself. And with that, thank you all so much for watching. Take it easy, and goodbye.